This is my server rack. Up here we've got networking. Move down a little bit. We've got some storage for cables and things like that. We've got all the media consoles and the box for the TV that's just off of screen over there. We've got a computer that's hooked up to the TV for watching YouTube, things like that. We've got a machine full of GPUs for running AI workloads. These two machines actually are having boot issues, but that's for a later video. And these last two machines down here, these are the core components of my Homelab. This bottom one here is running TrueNAS scale. It's low on storage. The good news there is that I have disks to expand the storage. The even better news is that if I update to the latest version of TrueNAS scale, I can actually just expand the existing pool rather than try to add another VDEV to it. I have the disk to do that, but before I can update the machine, I've got workloads that I need to move off of there because the current workloads are running in Kubernetes. The newest version of TrueNAS scale uses Docker, so I don't know if the upgrade path is going to be any good for my situation. Now, where I would normally move them to is here. This is my hypervisor. It's running XCPNG, which is fine. It's been working well for me, but I think it's time to give Proxmox a try. I think it's going to be a better fit for my use case. The other thing that's going on with this machine is that the CPUs that I got from eBay are Xeon CPUs. I think they're engineering samples because they report themselves as V0000. So I've actually got a brand new, well, new to me, Threadripper system to replace this machine with. All right, so just to recap, I need to update and expand my storage array, but before I can do that, I need to move the workloads off of the storage array, and before I can do that, I need to replace the old hypervisor. With me? It's gonna be more work than I want to do, but it needs done. So let's do it. All right, I've got this old chassis that matches the one that was in the rack, so I figure might as well just use the exact same case so I don't have to worry about rail compatibility. I can just drop it right in. So let's fire this up. Just got everything laid out, temporary, plugged in, see if it works. Let's find out. Oh, power's on. Fans are spinning up. Let's check it out over here. Maybe. Oh, okay. I was getting worried. All right, excellent. All right, Proxmox installed, but there's a few things I got to address before I can go any further. One, this power supply. Yeah, 450 watts might technically be enough for Threadripper CPU, but definitely want to get something a little bit more beefy than that. I also need to figure out how to mount these hard drives, because that's not going to work. You may be able to tell from the box of wires and a server out of the rack that things have escalated. Let me show you where I'm at. So I've gotten the hard drives mounted here. I'm just using the holes for the 80mm fans. That actually worked out pretty well. The spacing isn't exactly right. Let me show you the other side. So I found if I angled the hard drives slightly, I could take advantage of the grid for the fans here and have a second mounting point in addition to the 80mm fan spot, which, you know, not as designed, but I think it works pretty well. I had to play some power supply shuffle. So 1,000 watts for the setup I'm going to have here is probably way overkill, but after moving some power supplies around, this is probably what makes the most sense. But it still leaves me with the question of how to get this into the rack. because my wife's been traveling for work, and I want to get the living room back in order before she arrives, which means getting this into the rack, the other computer out of the way, and everything nicely sorted. I think this is my plan. The computer that is currently out of the rack, that one doesn't boot. I'm pointing at it. It's over that way. This chassis is compatible with the other chassis that needs to go into the rack. So I think the move is this. I take the rails off of this computer, I put them on that computer, and then I put that computer into the rack, and then I've got an opportunity to migrate off of the old VM machine, my old hypervisor, onto the Proxmox machine. It's not ideal. I'd like to have everything in the rack, but yeah. All right. We have progress. We're in the rack. Connected up. I went ahead and installed a 10 gigabit network card in here. So, we should be good to go. It obviously posted. Don't expect anything to go wrong. Famous last words. We've booted up, but I can see one problem already. Plugged into port 4 here on the 10 gigabit NIC, and as you can see, no link status. So, I have to look into that. But in the meantime, we can try to log into the console. Alright, we're already off to a bad start. I wanted to configure the 10 gig NIC with DHCP, but apparently you can't do that. I thought it was going to be this auto start option, but apparently that just enables the network card. It doesn't actually try to configure it. And doing a little bit of Google searching, it would seem that I have to manually configure it via the command line. I manage all my static IPs via my DHCP servers, so the fact that I can't do it in Proxmox is kind of a non-starter for me. I like having all my static IPs configured in a single place. That way I don't have to jump around between host and host. So, Proxmox, I don't know if this is really for me. Just kind of a bummer. But everything's all installed, it's all set up, so if I change my mind, I can just turn this into an XCP-NG machine and migrate my workloads and still decommission the old machine. So I can still get everything buttoned up, even though I'm not happy with where this is at right now.